Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dominic LaNave, flying solo today. And today we'll take you around the great world of sports, not only in the U.S., but also around the world. So prepare yourselves for some exciting game breakdowns and stats you've all been waiting for, because this is Sports Flash. Hello everyone, and we'll begin Sports Flash with me just reminding you that you have to watch the NFL Draft tonight. It will be very exciting. The most offensive linemen and defensive ends that we've ever seen in the last couple of years in this NFL Draft. We will see a lot of defensive players and offensive linemen in the first round. Later on, we'll have Alex Brannam chatting with us about the NFL Draft and his predictions. His predictions, usually in the NFL Draft, are very accurate. So remember to stick around for the later part of the show to see Alex Brannam. But we will start with the recent struggles of the Washington Nationals. Okay, so last night's series finale, Cards 4, Nats 2. In that game, the only offense for the Nats, a RBI single for Bryce Harper, and a solo shot off the bat of Jason Worth. Worth has 4 RBI, 4 homers. He's got to be the hottest Nat as of right now. But the Nats at 4th place, 5 games behind the Atlanta Braves for first in the Eastern Division. But the recent struggles of the Nats and the rearranging of the lineup, it's way too early to make a prediction. This team's not going to make the playoffs. Not looking too good. But we are going to the start of the rebuilding the lineup process started yesterday as Adam LaRoche is benched. In came Tyler Moore, who went 1 for 2 with a good RBI hit and also walked one, so good game for Tyler Moore. And Anthony Rendon coming in for Ryan Zimmerman, who is on the DL. We hope it's the same thing as last year, in which he was dynamite after coming back from that zone shot in that August game against the Baltimore Orioles. Jonathan Solano getting the catching duties yesterday in place of Kurt Suzuki, who's been one of the hottest Nats on this team so far. So Solano last night 1 for 4 with the single and a couple strikeouts, but so David Johnson knows this team can win, and it's just gonna take a long time. How often does the best team in baseball end up winning the title? And the Nats thought at the beginning of this year to be one of the best teams in baseball. That spot is taken over by one team I like to point out, the Boston Red Sox, who last night John Lester led the Red Sox to a 6-5 win over the Oakland A's. John Lester improving to 4-0. He is on fire. I also like to point out Texas, Oakland's, the Twins have been 500. The Nats gotta play better. They gotta play better down the stretch, I gotta say. Strasburg falls to 1-4. He has not pitched that bad as the record shows. He has pitched very well last night. 7 innings pitched. That means 5 hits, 3 runs, learned a walk, and 7 strikeouts. He pitched 110 balls to batters, and his ERA after 5 games, 3.14. So Strasburg struggles. It aren't as bad as it seems, but he's got to play better if this team wants to get further into the postseason picture this season. So that means the Nats and the Reds come to town with the Nats. The Nats met the Reds at Great American Ballpark for the second series of the season for both teams. The Reds sweeping the Nats. The first game, a 15-0 game. We talked about that 2 weeks ago. Maybe a turning point in the recent struggles of the Nats. Just saying. But yeah, and Shin-Soo Choo is the MVP of baseball right now. Definitely a National League. Not sure about American League, but he is the MVP. He is second in batting, first in on-base percentage, first in hits, and he just keeps getting it done. Not a lot of shots, 613 slugging percentage, not a lot of big homers, but, the leadoff guy, don't expect him to get a lot of homers, but, yeah, shoots me on fire, and you gotta watch out for him. Gio Gonzalez takes the mound against Bronson Arroyo. That is tonight on Madison, 7:05. Make sure to watch that first game, the 4-game weekend series between the Nats and the Reds. And Zimmerman takes on Homeward Bailey, Dan Herron, Mike Leake. And the series finale concludes with the 1-1 Ross Detweiler against Tony Singrini, the 1-0 left-hander southpaw for the Cincinnati Reds. So, other news of baseball, the top 3 seeds in the National League in terms of divisions go to Atlanta, 15-6 on top of the National League East, St. Louis on top of the National League Central with a 13-8 record, and in the West, the Colorado Rockies leading the Giants by 1.5 games and Arizona by 2 games for the top seed in the National League West. The Rockies have a 14-7 record. They are absolutely on fire. That's all I need to say about baseball. Lots of good games this weekend. A key series, Reds and Nats definitely. You gotta watch some of those games. Blue Jays and Yankees. 2 teams that were said to be really good. New York's 3rd, Toronto's 5th, but when those teams play, it's always a good game. And then obviously another local team, the Baltimore Orioles. So when we come back, we'll have Alexander Brannam on in this 3rd edition of Sports Flash to talk to us about the upcoming NFL draft and what his picks and why his picks are what they are, and what are some of the worst teams in the league's best needs. So Alex Brannam next. Don't move anywhere. This is Sports Flash. We will begin Sports Flash with a rundown of the NFL's first round mock draft. With me on the phone is Alex Brannam. Alex, how you doing?
I'm doing great, and I'm ready to do this.
Okay, with the number 1 overall pick is the Kansas City Chiefs. New coach Andy Reid. What is their number 1 draft priority?
I honestly think they really need they should really go for either A, wide receiver, or B, an offensive tackle. But I would go after an offensive tackle first if I were them, because they need better blockers to help Jamal Charles get big runs.
Yep, a lot of mock drafts have the Kansas City Chiefs picking Luke Joeckel. Played for Texas A&M. He is a very good offensive tackle, and he is projected to go first. Jaguars going 2nd. Who do you got?
Again, I got another offensive tackle need. They need to open holes for Maurice Jones-Drew.
Mm-hmm.
It's mainly because, I mean, like, he hasn't been that big recently. He was, he was first place in the league 2 years ago, but since then he's been stuffed in the backfield, and he really hasn't done that well.
Agreed. An offensive tackle would work for them. Their defense, I think, has to improve. I'm going with Deion Jordan, outside linebacker for Oregon. Very, very versatile pass rusher. I think that's what the Jaguars will get. Oakland Raiders, number 3. Who do you got?
Here, they got to really address their defensive need. I would give them Deion Jordan instead of the Jaguars getting him, because they really have Matt Flynn, sure, but they need a quarterback. But I think the defense is a bigger priority for them.
Yeah, agree. Philadelphia Eagles, number 4. Who do you got?
I got a defensive tackle here.
Yep.
And I think they need a defensive tackle because they lost Jason Babbitt, and he was there. And they still need somebody to go along with Trent Cole.
Yeah.
And
agreed. Okay. So it looks like. Okay, just what do you think the Detroit Lions got for this first round?
I know I'm being exact, but I got Lane Johnson out of Oklahoma. It really seems like he fits into the Lions. He really fits into the Lions team, and Reggie Bush needs that offensive line to help him along the way.
Yep. Good choice. So it looks like the top 5, for the first time in I don't know how many years, no running backs, no offensive players are projected to be picked, besides offensive linemen who don't really count. But number 6, Cleveland Browns. Who do you got?
I got a quarterback.
Yes.
They need someone to go along with Joe Hayden on that other side, who has been pretty good. He's had a few interceptions, but he really hasn't had many players help him well.
Okay. I like that pick. And number 7, Arizona Cardinals.
I got them picking an offensive guard.
Okay.
And I say that because, again, they need Beanie Wells to be able to get into the hole. He got 1,047 yards, and based on his season last year, I think he can get a whole lot more yards than he did in 2011 if he gets that offensive line down.
Number 8, Buffalo Bills. I'm looking at a lot of mock drafts here. They have them picking a quarterback. Obviously, they have to get one. Trying to go with Fitzpatrick as a future quarterback. It hasn't really worked out. Who you got?
Yeah, you got cut and stuff. I mean, that's one of the Titans now. But anyway, I got them picking an offensive guard. Specifically Jonathan Cooper, but honestly, I got them picking him because based on that huge outburst from C.J. Spiller in the first few weeks of last season when Fred Jackson got injured, I think with a better offensive line than they have now, especially at guard, they can really step it up a notch and have Spiller and Jackson run like a triple option kind of thing, and just have a lot of runs, and they'll just have a lot of runs, a lot of run yards, and a lot of success scoring running touchdowns and touchdowns.
Okay, New York Jets number 9 really struggled last year, but they're giving Rex Ryan another chance this year. With the trade of Darrelle Revis to the Buccaneers, that means they get another first-round pick this year, but their first pick in the first round is number 9. Who do you have them?
Markevius Mingo out of LSU.
Yep.
And I have them picking him because they had a lot of defensive struggles, primarily in run support, and I think their bigger issue is in the linebackers and not the defensive tackle or defensive line.
Yep.
So I have them picking a linebacker.
Okay. Going number 10 is the Tennessee Titans. Obviously one of your favorite teams. Who do you think they gotta get?
D. Milliner, cornerback out of Alabama.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I agree. Chargers really struggled last year. Giving Phillip Rivers another chance here. I think they need to go with a very strong offensive lineman that can support Ryan Matthews in hopefully a breakout year.
Maybe Danny Woodhead. But anyway.
Oh, Matthews.
Okay. And over here, because I haven't said really any quarterbacks yet, I say they're picking Geno Smith out of West Virginia because I think he fits that talent. They have Denario Alexander, who obviously had a breakout year last year. He had a ton of yards and a ton of touchdowns.
Yes.
So I have them picking him. I think that's
strong choice. Yeah, you gotta have a strong backup for Phillip Rivers, especially if he again fails to produce. Miami Dolphins number 12. What do you got?
I got them picking an offensive tackle.
Okay.
Yeah, I got them picking DJ Fluker out of Alabama. And I say they pick DJ Fluker out of Alabama because he really, again, fits that run scheme that they need. And the only problem is they also need a running back. And I said offensive tackle first and then have him maybe play backup for a year or so, then have that star running back come out of a college, and then they'll have the offensive line set by then, so then they'll have DJ Fluker there, and hopefully he'll do well for the Dolphins and their run game next year.
Number 13, Jets got this pick yesterday. 2 picks through the first 15 draft choices. A lot of mock drafts have them picking a wide receiver, especially Tavon Austin out of West Virginia. With Geno Smith last year, they were a dynamite combo. Who do you have the New York Jets picking in their second first-round pick?
I have them picking Xavier Rhodes out of Florida State. Because Xavier Rhodes really played well, and they really need to address their defensive problems.
Yep.
And after they lost Darrelle Revis, they need a cornerback to go alongside Antonio Cromartie.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Carolina Panthers number 14. They're keeping with Cam Newton, hoping that he can produce after a very, very bad last season. Who do you have them picking?
Kenny Vaccaro, the free safety out of Texas. Excuse me if I pronounced that wrong, but yeah, the free safety out of Texas.
Okay. 15, New Orleans Saints. Had a bad year after the bounty scandal, but we'll have Sean Payton back. Who do you have them getting with the number 15 overall pick?
Jarvis Jones, outside linebacker out of... And I say they pick him because obviously they need someone to go along with Jonathan Vilma, and they really need to pick up their defense if they really want to play well.
Okay, 16 St. Louis Rams.
I have them taking Kevon Austin, and I say they have Kevon Austin because they obviously need that wide receiver, especially after they made the mistake of letting Denario Alexander go, and look how good he turned out to be, and then they let Titus Young walk back in February, so they obviously need that wide receiver slot filled with some talent.
So you got one quarterback and one wide receiver inside the top 16, and no running backs. So you're going defensive this year.
Yeah, there's a lot of defensive talent this year as opposed to offensive talent, especially in backfield.
Pittsburgh Steelers with the number 17 overall pick. Who do you got?
I have them taking Tyler Eifert, the tight end out of Notre Dame. And I say they pick him because they obviously need somebody to fill that tight end slot. I really don't know their tight end name, but I know he didn't really play well last year.
Heath Miller? Yeah. Well, I agree. Heath Miller's getting very old.
And they obviously do need that run block support too.
Okay, Dallas Cowboys, number 18. Who do you got?
At number 18, I have the Dallas Cowboys taking Sylvester Williams.
Okay.
And I have them taking him because they obviously need that person who can clog the middle, and I think they have, and I think this is a good draft to do it with because they have that talent and Sheldon Richardson and Sylvester Williams and stuff. So they really need to step it up a notch and go defensive in the first round.
Number 19 with the New York Giants. Who do you got?
Bjorn Werner, the defensive end out of Florida State.
Okay.
And I have them picking him because, again, they could either A, move JPP or Justin Tuck in, or move him, or move Werner in. Because after they let Chris Canty walk, they really need that one person who can do it, who can just block the run.
Yep. Chicago Bears with the number 20 overall pick.
Desmond Trufant, quarterback out of Washington, brother of, what's his name, Marcus Trufant?
Yes. Trufant. Marcus Trufant.
They really need, their corners are getting old, and they just need that one person who could fill in for Tim Jennings, and what's his name, number 33. And I think that Desmond Trufant can really fill in that role.
Okay, Cincinnati Bengals, number 21.
Eddie Lacy, the running back out of Alabama.
Okay.
I have them picking him because they let Cedric Benson walk. Ben Jarvis Green Ellis hasn't really been making many highlights. So I think they need a fresh start at running back, and they need to draft a running back.
St. Louis Rams got this pick from the Washington Redskins in that huge RG3 deal. Who do you have them picking with their second first-round pick?
Cordero Patterson, the wide receiver out of Tennessee.
Okay.
I have them picking him because they again need that wide receiver talent on the other side of Tavon Austin, of course, and whoever else they have if they don't end up drafting Tavon Austin. But that's who I have the St. Louis Rams picking.
I got them picking DeAndre Hopkins out of Clemson, a great guy that can really run. I think him and Danny Amendola can be a really good wide receiver combo.
Dominic?
Yep.
Just a little report. Danny Amendola is on the Patriots now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I blew it. Okay. Well, one of my favorite teams, Minnesota Vikings, number 23. I have them picking Manti Te'o, Notre Dame. I don't think the huge thing he had before the combine it's going to be a big deal for the Vikings. They just care about how he can play.
I have them picking Justin Hunter out of Tennessee, the wide receiver. After they need that talent to fill in for Percy Harvin, and of course they have Greg Jennings, but it's really hard to really have one wide receiver and then expect him to fill in, because if this team has one good cornerback, they'll be using it on Greg Jennings, and then they'll have that they really have nobody on the other side because they really don't have any corners wide receivers after they let Percy Harvin go. That's
a very good pick, but the Vikings having picks 23 and 25, they can pretty much go with whatever they want with those two picks. I think after the Vikings pick number 25, it's pretty much best on the board sort of thing. But that's me. Indianapolis Colts, 24. What do you got?
I have Brian Schwenk, the center out of California.
Yep. Not what you can say about centers.
I really think that they really need that center after, of course, they let Jeff Saturday walk and go to the Packers, which really I don't think was a really good idea. Jeff Saturday was pretty solid.
Yeah.
But he did end up retiring a couple months ago, so yeah.
Vikings again, number 25.
I have them picking Monte Te'o here.
I got them picking Te'o first, and then Hunter 25th. But yeah, I think they could those are the two main needs they need to get. Got to get a strong defense player, strong offense player.
Well, yeah, of course. I don't really think the whole girlfriend host will really affect his draft stock, and if it does, it just shows how emotional he is. And if he does end up injuring a player or something, he's going to end up crying for 2 months.
Yeah. Okay, number 26, Green Bay Packers.
I have them picking Matt Elam.
Yep.
Out of Florida.
27, Houston Texans, another one of your favorite teams.
I have them picking DeAndre Hopkins, the wide receiver out of Clemson. And
now,
I say that because, again, DeAndre Hopkins was really just a beast at catching. He always seemed to be in the right place at the right time for Clemson's quarterback. I don't remember his name, but he was good. Really good.
Okay, I got the picking Tyler Eifert out of Notre Dame. I think, wait, are we on the Texans?
Yeah.
We're on the Texans. Yeah, I still think Tyler Eifert is a strong pick because of the fact that they got Andre Johnson and Arian Foster, one of the best wide receivers and running backs in the game. A top-tier tight end boosts their chances of becoming the best team in the NFL.
Or the AFC, whatever comes.
Or the AFC, but yeah, I think the Texans are going to be something special in the next couple of years. Denver Broncos, number 28, very disappointing as they got ousted by the Ravens in 2 overtimes, who the Ravens ended up winning the whole thing. Who do you have the Broncos taking?
Demontre Moore, defensive end, out of Texas A&M.
Good. New England Patriots, number 29.
Jonathan Banks, cornerback out of Mississippi State.
Okay. Atlanta Falcons, number 30.
Jamar Taylor, cornerback out of Boise State.
Okay. 49ers got to the Super Bowl. Going to keep with Kaepernick. Who do you got?
Jonathan Cypress, strong safety out of Florida International. I have been picking him after Dashon Goldson left and is now on, I believe, Dolphins. I can't remember now, but, it was the Buccaneers. But after they let him walk, after they let Dashon Goldson walk, they really need that safety to fill in to that role.
Super Bowl winners, Baltimore Ravens. Loss of Ray Lewis. Loss of Ed Reed. Picking up Elvis Dumerville. Do they go with the safety to try to replace Reed? Who do you have them going as a last pick in the first round?
I believe they will take Kevin Minter, the inside linebacker from LSU, because they really need to fill in for that, as you said, Ray Lewis.
Okay. I'm just 2 quick questions. Matt Barkley, where do you think he's going to go after a very disappointing finish to the season?
I got him falling to the 3rd to last pick. I believe he'll get, 4th to last pick in the,
second round.
In the, 2nd round.
Yep.
Hold on, let me check on who has that pick.
Let's see, 4th to last, you say? That is...
Patriots?
Yeah, Patriots. Okay, and then one of my favorite teams, California Golden Bears. I gotta know where you think Keenan Allen's gonna go. The very, very highly regarded receiver from California.
Keenan Allen?
Yep, Keenan Allen.
I got him going in the earlier part of the 2nd round. I got him going with the Jaguars with the 33rd pick.
Yep. Okay, 2 more quick questions. Geno Smith, where do you think he's going to go?
I told you, I thought he was going to go with the, I thought I told you.
I'm not sure you did.
Oh.
You only picked one quarterback in the first round, I'm pretty sure.
That was Geno Smith.
Sure. Okay. But you think it's going to go there. Now, what I think, just a quick comment here.
Yep.
With the number 8 pick, the Buffalo Bills.
Yep.
It seems like they're either going to go with Ryan Nassib of Syracuse, the quarterback, or Geno Smith, the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills. And whichever one does not get picked is going to fall down to the 2nd round. So it's pretty crazy with the number 8 pick. They can go. I think all the good quarterbacks will be there on the board when the Bills are on the clock. Quick comment there. One more question. Where do you think E.J. Manuel, the quarterback for FSU last year, where do you think he's going to fall?
For who?
FSU, E.J. Manuel.
Oh, the quarterback?
Yeah, quarterback.
I think he'll probably go in the middle, from the 10th to the 20th pick, somewhere in the middle of that, pick in the 2nd round.
Okay. That's fair. Okay, last question.
Okay.
I want to know where you think Monty Ball, is going to fall.
I think Monty Ball, again, will probably go between the 10th and 20th pick of the second round.
What team does best fit him?
I think the best team that'll suit him, again, going back to the Miami Dolphins and DJ Fluker, I think if he actually does end up falling that far, I think he'll end up with the Dolphins, who will have DJ Fluker already there for him to be a good running back.
Okay, Alex, we went way over the time limit, but thanks for joining us.
You're welcome, and I'll see you in the fall, hopefully.
That was Alex Brannam, one of my friends. Great call there, Alex. When we come back, we will finish Sports Flash with a quick rundown of the top games this week. See you then. We will conclude Sports Flash with a rundown of the way the Capitals season has gone and how the playoff picture is looking in the National Hockey League. We'll also take a quick look at the NBA first round playoff scores. So, NHL, you're wondering who's in. The Penguins have clinched the division and home ice advantage throughout the playoffs, always big. Then the Bruins are not locked up with the division. They are tied with the Canadiens for first place in the conference, but the Bruins do have the tiebreaker, which could play out to be huge. The Caps lock up the number 3 spot. They won't be moving anywhere. Montreal has a chance in the number 2 spot. The Maple Leafs have clinched a spot, and the New York Islanders are in the 6th seed. And the Senators and the Rangers have not clinched yet. If the Ottawa Senators win tonight against the Washington Capitals, they will lock up the 7th seed. And so, if the Senators and the Rangers both win, they're in. They're in a win-they're-in situation. Now, if Winnipeg does not play today, they will have their final game of the season, I believe, on Saturday. A big game. They're in a must-win situation. But the Rangers and the Sens both looking in good shape. Western Conference clinched home ice advantage throughout the playoffs. And the conference, the Chicago Blackhawks, clinching the divisions are the Ducks and the Canucks. They won't be moving from the 2nd and 3 spots respectively. Then San Jose, Los Angeles, and St. Louis all clinching playoff spots. Now this is an interesting the playoffs. The Minnesota Wild in this situation, if they get a point in their final 2 games, they're in. The Red Wings are ahead of the 9th seeded Columbus Blue Jackets for the number 8 seed. The Red Wings with 52 and the Blue Jackets with 51 points respectively. That's very interesting. I think the Wild are in, and with the way Sergei Bobrovsky has played in net for the Columbus Blue Jackets, they are going to get that final 8 seed and not have much of a chance, but have as equal of a shot as anyone else in the first round of the playoffs against the Blackhawks. But yes, the Blue Jackets, the Red Wings, and the Wild, all in contention for the 7 and 8 seeds. And now we get some talk on the Washington Capitals. What can you say about them? On Tuesday night, they clinched the division, the last Southeast Division banner that will ever be given out, as the realignment is next season, in which the Capitals will be in a really tough division. So lay back, enjoy the playoffs, because this might be one of the only playoff seasons the Caps will be in for a while, with the way how tough their division is when the realignment starts next season. But Ovechkin's been on fire. A lot of people think he's gonna lock up the Rocket Richard trophy given to the most goals scored. But the Art Ross trophy is still into play for him. Sidney Crosby still leads after missing almost all the second half of the season. Just goes to show you how amazing a player he is. But it's not average number of points per game, it's how many you get the whole season. Ovechkin and Stamkos fighting for the number 1 seed. So Ovechkin knows he's probably got the Rocket Richard, but he's got to keep scoring goals to keep up his chances for the Art Ross. And maybe in the end, the Hart Trophy given to the league's most valuable hockey player. So the Caps getting the job done. Against the Winnipeg Jets, line scored 5-3. Ovechkin scored the game. The division clincher for the Washington Capitals. With the effort in their goal, who else? Ovechkin has really single-handedly led the Caps to their first division title in the past 2 years. So that will do it for this edition of Sports Flash. Thank you, Alex Brannam, for being on the show. And as for us, I'm Dominic LaNave, and you've been watching the 3rd ever edition of Sports Flash. See you next week.